Good evening. How are you all doing? How was your bank holiday? It's lovely and wet here. Our garden has flooded. So how are you all doing on this lovely wet bank holiday afternoon? I missed you guys. Hope you're all well. Though the days are long, twilight sings a song of the happiness it used to be. Soon my eyes will close, soon I'll find repose, and in dreams you're always near to me. I'll see you in my dream, hold you in my dreams. Someone took you out of my arms. Still I feel the thrill of your charms, lips that once were mine, tender lips that shine. They will light my way tonight. I see you in my dreams. Good evening, everybody. Good to. I'm glad you're still with me. Welcome to the Care Managers in a Circle, and welcome to our lovely little family, a lovely little group. We're a warm sanctuary here to support each other as amazing care managers out there. If you're new to the Inner Circle, my name's Jonathan. I'm the the lunatic who set this up 4 years ago now on a sun lounger in Forteventura. Initially just to so I could find some information, and we've grown to over now 3,500. But it's lovely to see you tonight. I want to talk about the 5 worst mistakes you can possibly make as a care manager. Of course, they're not the worst 5 mistakes. There's just 5 mistakes, which I think for those or budding care managers or new care managers, I mean, let's face it, it is a tough gig. It is a tough gig, guys. You're captain of the ship, you know, and you very much set the whole organization on your head beat. And that's one of the big sells when I, you know, points of reassurance when I show people around our care home. I just said, look, you know, whatever goes right is very much the credit of our staff. And when it goes wrong, yours truly cops for it. And it's very humbling just to say, look, you know, as care manager, the buck stops here. And I take total ownership of things which, you know, in the organization. It's simple as that. You know, you are vicariously liable, folks. It's simple as that. And if you accept the big bucks, then it comes with a job. So tonight, a little bit more relaxed. I've had a lovely, relaxing bank holiday Monday. I'm actually doing the final assignment for my Unit D NEBOSH diploma, which is due in about 2 weeks' time. So at the moment, I'm head down, getting that written. I've got about 11,000 words to write, and we're about 2,500 words in. But anyway, enough of that. Good to see you tonight. I just want to talk about some of the mistakes that we can all make as care managers. For those experienced care managers out there, and I'm not holding myself up as being someone who knows it all or anything like that. I'm just going to present some things which certainly I recognize as things which are mistakes I've made in the past. And if anyone can take from those, then great. The starting point really is, and I'll just show you this. Let me take that one off there. Right. You know, so what does a care manager do? It's always quite handy to know. Now, I'm not going into CQC definitions or skills for care. There's some amazing job descriptions out there. And recently I might have sort of said to you, in fact, I put it on the Care Managers in a Circle. I'd never actually sat down and crafted out my own job description. Actually, it was really quite telling. And thank you so much for people who contributed to that. But I just want to go through. These are sort of things which I believe, you know, let's keep it to the big high five. of responsibilities for a care manager. I'm not going into all the operational stuff because that's not what your job's about. It's remaining strategic. It's remaining, you are the interface between the vision, strategy, and goals and your amazing care teams. As simple as that. And you are the glue, and you're the one that maps. It's like in the old days. I always think of a care manager as remember the telephonist used to be in the post office or wherever it was, the sorting station or the telephone station where you're one that plugs the things into so people can talk and you can link your goals with the actual ground troops on the in your care organization. So a care manager, first and foremost, you set the culture. You are from top down, you're the captain of your ship. You set the culture, you set the tone, you set the pace. And that's why I say to anyone, if you're ever looking at a care home, you be the ones you must see the care manager, because undoubtedly, they are the ones who are ultimately responsible, and their tone, their pace, the language they use, and the culture. And the culture is the unseen conscience. It's simple as that. It's the unseen conscience of an organization. It's so prevailing. The problem about culture is you can't turn it around overnight. You can't do it, health and safety and putting a bit of signage here or maybe changing a hoist, that's easy. Your purchases, you put it in place. There's no great deal of consultation required to put some signage up. But with culture, it takes its people, and it can be absolutely ingrained in an organization. It's in the floors, the ceilings, the walls, the language they use. Have they got a little parking space with their names on? That shows about the culture, the power plays. It is all around. And so you're the one that determines the how. And the reason why I put healthy growth is because it must be a healthy culture and it must involve growth, because you're not there just to keep an organization just existing. You've got to deal with the proverbial, your next one. You've got to deal with the brown and smelly stuff when it hits the fan. You're not there just as costume jewelry. You've got to deal with the stuff when it goes horribly wrong. And you can't be, and therefore you've got to walk the floors and you've got to be hands-on. Simple as that. And you've got to tackle stuff head on, and because your job is not to deal with the routine. You've got some amazing people, amazing managers, deputies, etc., amazing staff to deal with routine. If it's routine, you shouldn't be dealing with it, because your job is to deal with the stuff which really matters. It's people, and it's when inevitably it goes wrong. You've got to check, confirm, and deep dive. It's a beautiful one. I talk about the lily pads. You've got to be able to bounce off the lily pads continually, checking, confirming, assurance. And then for the ones that you're not too sure on, then you occasionally do a deep dive into that. And on a weekly basis, just to give you an idea, now I'm not holding this as what you should be doing, but on a weekly basis, I receive a big pack of all the audits. I look at every single audit in the organization, every bit of feedback, all reports from all the departments. And I produce this. It's early on a Friday morning, same time, same day, every single week. And this is comments and assurances I'm seeking across every single department. And that goes out, so that's written normally between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. That goes out then to the team, and they work on that on the Friday. And I get formal feedback on the Tuesday and Wednesday the next week. The red is the formal feedback of the questions that I asked. That is pan organization. But before you all start asking for a copy of that, it's just the questions. So I go across all the questions across all departments of things I need assurance on. And it means then we've got a copy of that for CQC or anyone else who wishes to see it. You've also got to establish network and relationships. You're the establisher of the network across your organization, within the organization and without the organization. That's outside the organization, because your job is to connect to the organization. You can't just be existing in a cocoon, in a silo. You've got to connect. And so your ability to deal with people, your emotional skills, and your emotional intelligence is absolutely key. And finally, or not finally, but the last one I've got here is protect and nurture your people. You are, you're the mother hen, and that's not being sexist. But blokes are all mother hens. We've got to nurture our organization. We've got to look after it. We've got to provide a healthy, safe, psychologically safe, physically safe environment for our people in which to grow and thrive and flourish. And you can't do that. That's key leadership. So I just want to show you now, and there's a key skill set as well. There's 3 things which I always consider that a care manager must have in terms of skill set. You could probably make this as 1,000 skills, but these are 3 key ones which I consider. You've got to have knowledge and experience of the job. And that's to state the blinding obvious, but you must have knowledge and experience of the job, because that's where the credibility lies. That's, you've got to know, you've got to be technical as well. That's being able to rattle off the regulations. It gives you an immense credibility when people are talking, when you're talking to people, when you're talking about 5 and respect and dignity and personalization of care, and you can rattle those things off. It's fantastic. So knowledge and experience of the job is absolutely key, understandably. Also, advanced people skills, and especially, super especially in terms of emotional intelligence. You've got to know yourself inside out. You've got to know yourself emotionally, and you've got to understand that your emotions will play on other people, and other people's emotions may affect or could affect your decision making. So be very aware, be more self-aware than you've ever been in your life. Let me just hold up there and let's see what sort of comments we've got. So we've got from Heidi, good evening, young man. She always says that. Hope you are. I am indeed looking a little bit more relaxed today because I've not been into work, and work's been absolutely fine. We've got Carla there. Good evening, Carla. Lovely to see you, and several Facebook users as well. So going back to the main in terms of our skill set. And the final one then is leadership and managerial skills. You've got to be able to lead people. Now, that doesn't mean you've got to come in as some sort of Churchillian a guru in leadership. Not at all. You learn on the job, absolutely. But you also must have a base of managerial skills. You must understand the processes required, systems of audit, the systems of governance. They are not leadership. They're just good processes and managerial skills and assurances and etc. But your leadership skills is something, and the great thing is that leadership is teachable, guys. So for any of you thinking out there, well, I don't really know a great deal about leadership. Leadership is totally and utterly teachable, and that's what I want to come on to now. So, conscious of the time, these are the big 5. So there you go. So get your pencils out, get your pens out. These are the big 5 that I consider. You could probably think of your own 5, of course you could, but just humbly, these are 5 which I present to you. First and foremost, you still think you're a carer, and your care friends that might have seen you grow and flourish and go on to promotion, become senior care, you become their deputy manager. You're then in that appointment of registered care manager or senior managerial appointments, and you still think you're a carer. As much as your heart can still be in care, of course it can. That's why you're in social care. That's why you're absolutely fantastic at what you're doing. But you're not a carer. You're not a carer. You're now the registered manager and the care manager within that organization. And regrettably, you will lose friends and colleagues which previously you were top people who, and they, of course, they remain absolutely potentially loyal to you, but they're not your friends. Ultimately, they're the ones that you might have to discipline. In an extremist, they're the ones that you might have to actually remove all appropriately, but they're not your friends anymore. And as much as you can have very close colleagues, but do not fall into the trap of thinking they're still your mates. I've seen this too often before, and I've seen it where people start having cliques. They have their close coven of friends. You get favoritism, and it's identified immediately. Don't fall into that, because you lose credibility across the organization. Try and remain impartial, and you will lose some friends regrettably, but I'm afraid that comes with the turf. You're a big boy and big girl. I'm sure you can get your battle knickers on. You'll be all right. Right, number 2, fail to genuinely listen. This is super important. And I've done this in the past. Because you're now in a position of leadership, because you're now in a position as a registered manager, you think that you have to have all the answers. You don't at all. But you need to be able to super listen, and listen in a way that at times you really need to keep quiet, listen and look with your eyes, because it's that intelligence gathering and information gathering which is going to be key. You must always listen to your gut. If it feels wrong, if it looks wrong, if it probably is wrong, and therefore, then, you never discount your gut. Never discount your gut. Third one is ignore safety or safeguarding. This has been the doom. That's a great word, isn't it? This has been the doom of many a registered care manager or care manager. Safety, absolutely infernal for the first one to consider. And when you think that, if you go into a new organization or you've just taken over organization, first and foremost, just make sure the organization is safe. So go around physically safe. Is it organizationally safe? Have you got good safeguards in place? Have you got good recruitment in place? What is your meds management? What is your infection control? Go around and completely, or get someone else to come in and completely audit you. But that is super important. So ignore safety or safeguarding at your peril. First and foremost, try and make sure you've got a safe organization before you start bringing in drones and all the rest of it and all this fanciness in order to try and be outstanding. Make sure you've got a safe organization. Then 4, fail to look up or out. It's about looking up to now your board, your senior board of directors, your trustees, the CEO, and also out. So it's not just up, it's out as well. And I'd probably say 2/3 looking down and 1/3 looking up and out in order to make sure that you get things right in terms of you're establishing the right relationships, you're establishing the right networks, you're identifying the vision or the vision that's been given to you, you're aligned with the strategic goals of the organization into your own care home, and it's your job to implement them, interpret those, and then implement them down. And the final one is you've got to be yourself. You were all beautifully different. Well, no one wants you to change. And whilst you will develop and grow and thrive, never allow yourself to be anything but yourself, and have confidence. We'll all suffer some imposter syndrome. We all do. But get over that, be reassured, be comfortable in your own skin, learn from your mistakes, be truly humble, and you will absolutely, absolutely thrive. So there you go, folks. Let's see if there's any final comments just before we say goodbye. And here's another Facebook user went through this with a bump. I started at the same company as a Karen now, registered manager, been in the company 14 years. The friends less than bit me on the bum. It does, and that's just all. I'm afraid it does. It comes with the turf. Another person there, I've made a mistake of thinking some of my team were friends. It really can backfire on you. And I think if you're rugged enough to understand that, these things do happen. But I'm afraid when it comes to, I'm just trying to switch off that. There you go, hide. When it comes to, the big 5, that undoubtedly is one of them. Right, folks, lovely to see you. Once again, a huge thank you to you all. Please, if you know of any care managers, invite them in. And also now, just to finally just let you know that we're reducing the lives now to a Monday and a Thursday night. You've got the fabulous Mark Tops on and with his team on a Tuesday, and so we're going to free up for them so that so I can watch them as well. And also then on a Wednesday as well, Mark Tops is also on Clubhouse on I think it's on if you've got an iPad or an iPhone. Sadly, I haven't, so I can't join in. But so you've got a week of fabulous social care debate and discussion for you to dip in. So Monday with then Tuesday and Wednesday, and you've got the Care View and also Mark Tops on the Clubhouse, and then Thursday is back here. Hopefully we'll do a few interviews. Have a fantastic night. Love you all. Look after yourself. Be good, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.